It's an advanced training on executive communication to read people like a book. It's not just the words. I'm going to teach you words. If you understand this, and you will be able to connect with people at a whole different level from starting tomorrow. People think this is natural. This is a skill. Reading about people, it's a skill. Everything you do, it's a skill. So what I want you to do is I want you to make like this four quadrants in your journal. And there are four categories. On the top, I want you to write fast and aggressive on the top. Bottom, I want you to write steady and cautious. Fast and aggressive, steady and cautious. Left, task oriented, logic driven. And right side, people oriented, emotion driven. So basically, there are four categories. Quadrant one is task oriented, logic driven. Quadrant two, it's people oriented, emotion driven, plus they are fast and aggressive. So both are fast, first and second. Third is this one, right bottom, which is steady and cautious, but they are people oriented. Actually, the spelling is wrong. It should be oriented. Anyways. And the left bottom is task oriented and steady cautious. Okay. So the first, this is called DISC profiling, DISC communication system. So write it down. The first quadrant is dominant slash driver. Driver doesn't mean car driver. They're driving in control. Like they like to be in the driving seat of life. The right corner is influential slash socializer. Right bottom is steady slash relator. And left bottom is compliant slash thinker, or also critical thinker. One by one, we're going to go to it, and I'm going to make you understand this. So the first quadrant, this quadrant, their motivation, dominant. So let me tell you something right now. You can rest your journal now. I'll give you time to write right now. So first understand it. I'll give you time to write. After each quadrant, I'll give you time to write down. So first understand, because that's understanding is very important. The first quadrant is dominant slash driver. They want to be in driving seat of the conversation. What is the motivation of this person? Now, how do you know somebody is dominant? They are going to be fast in their communication. Aggressive doesn't necessarily mean a negative thing, by the way. Aggressive means passionate. They're passionate about what they're talking about. They believe it. They are not going to be soft, and they're fast as well. So the first thing you're going to notice is the person speaking to, are they a fast talker or a slow talker? That's the easiest question in your mind. If they're fast talker, they're either D and I. It becomes easy for you to now think. If somebody is a slow talker, they're either S and C. So it becomes easy to examine in your mind. You're categorizing it. So notice their speaking speed, or if they speak not so fast, see if they are passionate about stuff they're talking about. They are authoritative or not. If they are authoritative, even if they are not fast sometimes, they can still be D and I. Okay. Now the second question is, so if somebody is fast and aggressive, notice in their conversation, do they talk more about tasks or more about people? If they're talking more about tasks, that is the dominant and the driver in the left side. And their motivation generally is bottom line result. In business, in relationship, everywhere. Bottom line results means, okay, why are we doing this? How does it help? Okay, tell me, get to the right thing. Tell me the things fast. All right? Their fear is losing control and wasting time. They don't like to be one of the people. They like to be the leader. They like to be the person who's choosing, who's selecting, who's deciding. And if you want to talk to a dominant person well, make things short. Don't waste time. Don't have 1 hour meeting with them. Have like 12-minute meeting with them. Ask for a small favor so that you are not wasting their time. They don't want to lose control. They don't want to waste time. Their behavior highlight is they are going to be very self-assured, direct and forceful. They're very time sensitive. They don't have time to waste. They give you timeline, they move on. And if they say no once, they're going to stay with that. So self-assured, they don't need your approval, validation. They're very direct and forceful. They're not going to beat around the bush. And they're very time sensitive, generally. And they're thinking generally, when they're listening to you, when you're talking to them, in the mind they're thinking, this better be good and you better be great. I hope you're not wasting my time. I hope you're not experimenting with me. Okay, that's how they're thinking. Now, think in your mind, do you know some people like that in your office, in your personal life? Give me one in the chat box if you can think of some people in your life. They're about results. They're about leadership. Yeah. Okay. Do you consider yourself in that dominant driver category, by the way? Give me in the chat. If you sometimes, maybe not all the time, you are into that category. Okay, some of you are. All right. So bottom line results. Now you might be thinking, how do I really connect with them? So I have come up with this list of words to use for D personality. And that some of these words that later on I'll give you time to write down. Don't worry, I'm going to give you time to write. is these words: bottom line, exactly, grasp, control, get it done, appreciate, accomplish, influence, win, closed, efficient, cut to the chase, driver's seat, achieve, decision, decisive, partner, waste time, down to business, shoot straight, leverage, quick. Right? Quick. This is very, very important if you want to connect with deep personalities. Another thing about deep personality is it's if you ever ask for a suggestion to them, give them one or two options to choose from. It makes it easy for them. I'll give a very small example also. Imagine for a second that you have somebody whose advice that you need on something. Let's say a pitch deck that you have created, a 17-page pitch deck. If you go to them, for example, and you say, can you just give me some feedback? I'm going to tell you how D personality thinks, because a part of me is D. So some of the top leaders in the world are D. Steve Jobs is a D. Tony Robbins is a D. So a lot of top leaders are D. If you give them an entire thing to give you feedback on, they won't. They'll say, I don't have time. The trick with D personality is show them the deck and say, can you just give me feedback on the first 2 slides? And if they say yes, because they are in control, if they start giving you feedback on the first 2 slides, they will eventually on their own go to the 3rd and 4th slide. Why? Because they like to be in the driver's seat. They are deciding if they're going to go to the 3rd and 4th slide. So you ask for a small favor, not the big favor. You don't ask for a 30-minute meeting. You ask for a 3-minute meeting. And that 3-minute can be 15 minutes if they like you in general. And by the way, this is not about just boss. Don't think only your boss can be D. Your husband and wife can be D. Your child can be D. Some of you have children who are D personality that you haven't figured out. And you try to tell them something cute and they don't like it. Right? Neha is laughing. I see that. So D personality is you let them decide. So D personalities also won't wear a lot of colorful stuff generally. They won't. Dark color or white, something like minimalist a bit, because they don't want to waste time in thinking about XYZ. That's how they think. All right. The problem with D personality is mostly it's if they don't know how to turn off the D, they ruin many relationships in life because they like to be the boss everywhere, even with their friends. I used to be that, by the way. I used to be with friends and in personal relationship, and I used to be like the controller many times. And until one of my friends once told me that, when you are with us, you're not Bishal Sarkar, you're Bishal. Do you understand that? I said, yeah, that makes sense. So if you're talking to a D personality, understand their sense of self-significance is very high. So if you by chance put them down, you won't get any favor for them. However, if you let them know how their words in genuine way, if that matters, only then, not to butter people up, how they actually add value to you and what kind of impact and contribution they have made to you, these people will give their life to save yours. They will fight at a level that 100 soldiers cannot. They can be the leader who's going to fight with 100 people just because of you, if they feel that they are in your team in some way. Okay. Again, if you don't waste their time. All right. Is D clear to you so far? How to talk to D?